Hey, so I have mentioned being on a healing journey, and that's not just emotional or mental, but also physical. And so I want to talk about that a little bit today and my journey to remain victorious over some of the diagnoses that I have received in my life. Back in 2013, I was diagnosed with something called Graves' disease, which is an overactive thyroid. This is your thyroid gland. Your thyroid controls the hormones throughout the rest of your body. But if the thyroid hormone itself is overactive, then it can make the other systems in your body just kind of be a little bit wonky. And over the years, I realized that the symptoms don't always present just one way. My youngest daughter was like a year old at the time. I had just come off of breastfeeding, so I was already really slim. And I thought it was just from that. I didn't know that that was also a symptom of overactive thyroid. But also my thyroid was enlarged, which I didn't pay attention to either. Also, my hair was really brittle. I was constantly like super duper hot, and I was trembling. And my mom told me, like, look, go see a doctor. It seems like a thyroid issue. And turns out it was. And I had never heard of anything. And then for all of the things for it to be called Graves, like, yo, that just sounded super duper bad. But I was given some medicine called methimazole, which I guess is like the standard medicine they give you, but they want you to take it and then come in and have your thyroid levels tested. And basically, yeah, take this for the rest of your life or until it kills your liver. Like, what? I don't want to do that. And that's how I received it. Like, a lot of people take it and do fine or go into remission. I took it and actually went into remission. But then later on, for me, in my journey, it seemed like every time the Graves want to act back up, the symptoms not never, but they would present in some new unrecognizable way, like emotional emotional instability, anxiety, depression, periods going away, issues with intimacy, stuff like that. Like, it was just all different random stuff. And each time it was like, oh, okay, that might be the thyroid. That might be the thyroid. And turns out it was. So I began again. I think it was like since 2019 or 2020, I was taking methimazole again. But my thyroid kept getting bigger. I was even crocheting myself scarves and stuff to wear just to cover it up. And that's when I began to take it seriously, when it began to affect how I physically looked. But I'm just not a person who wants to take medicine forever. I just don't want to do that. I began to resent it. I just did not want to do that. And so a friend of mine she's a nurse practitioner, but she also has her own holistic healing services that she can provide some insight onto, like, what sort of natural things that you can do, because just doctors in general, no matter which doctor, whether endocrinologist or primary care, whoever, the answer was always, look, you're going to have to eventually just do a radioactive iodine treatment and kill your thyroid. But the Most High is amazing, because even though I did not want to do that, but it kept coming to me from the providers saying to do that, other people in my life were people, because I guess I was talking about thyroid a lot, but even like a dental hygienist or friends of a friends or whoever, every time I would bring it up, they would be like, oh, I know someone who did that. Or, oh, I had my thyroid removed. Oh, I had my thyroid surgically removed, or blah, blah, blah. I met so many people who had their thyroid either destroyed or removed, and they all wish they had never done it. They all said that they wish they had never done it. And another reason I don't want to do that is a totally permanent thing. Like, I can try to manage right now. I got my thyroid, and this was at the time, and it's like, yeah, it might be up and down, but like, I can try different stuff. But if I decide to kill it, there's no more thyroid hormone. Instead of being hyper, I'm hypo the rest of my life. I'm like, I'm not doing this rest of my life stuff. So anyway, I booked with the nurse practitioner. She told me about black walnut oil. She told me about something, a tincture called Self Heal, and she told me about a tincture called bugleweed. She also told me to maybe try to go gluten free. So I tried all those things at first. And like I said, this was several years ago. Over the years, what I have realized, because I'm not great at taking things every day, I'm going to just be honest. But over the years, what I realized worked for me was, yeah, it was a combination of those things. But the main one that is like replacing methimazole and keeping my thyroid levels normal is bugleweed tincture. And I'll put a picture of it. You can take it as a tincture, you can take it as a pill. I hate the pills. They're super duper big. They get stuck on the side of my throat. But I would take them if I had to, if I couldn't get my hands on the tincture. But it works. And I know that it works because I wasn't getting my thyroid levels tested for I don't know how long. It was a couple years. Please do not do what I did. I mean, I'm not saying I was responsibly handling my situation. But that being said, I mean, here's how I managed it. Like, my thyroid got smaller and I didn't feel crazy anymore. And that was enough for me. So I'm still taking it, and I'm taking it regularly now because I know that it works. I'm still having some issues, like my cycles being irregular, but overall, I recently had my blood tested and my thyroid levels are normal, and I'm not taking any prescriptions. I'm eating healthy as I can, and I'm taking a bugleweed tincture. And that is what's working for me. And so that's one of the reasons that I choose to eat healthy. Another diagnosis that I received, I think it was maybe even prior to 2018, but was that, iron deficiency anemia. To me, that wasn't a big deal because I couldn't really feel it, right? Here I go shining in the car again, y'all. But anyway, but I do, like, every time I go to the doctor, it's like, look, you need to do something about this. And apparently my levels were getting like really, really low. And then I think they called ferritin or something like that. But my stores of iron were also extremely low. And they were trying to refer me for iron infusions. And I'm like, infusions? Like, what's in the infusion? And even the PA that I saw yesterday couldn't tell me what was in it. So, but because of how I'm feeling, coupled with my levels and just my desire to want to do this holistically, the Most High is awesome. The person that I spoke with wasn't all, yes, gung-ho medicine, gung-ho, do this the synthetic way. He was like, yeah, keep on taking iron pills. I was taking them, but they were making me really nauseous. So I only eat in the evenings. So I'm deciding now, based on his recommendation, to take the pills at night once I have food on my stomach, and then I go to sleep. So hopefully I don't feel any nausea. So I'm doing that. That's been working. He also recommended me that I cook my food in a cast iron skillet. I would have never thought of that. And I don't know which doctors are going to tell you regular stuff like that. I don't know which doctors are going to tell you things that are like DIY, holistic type of, at home remedies. But that's what I want. That's what I want. So I'm going to definitely get me a cast iron skillet. I'm just going to cook all my food in it. I'm going to probably boil my rice in it. If I'm ever eating rice, boil my eggs in it, like whatever, and get my iron in that way, as well as the dark leafy greens, and just change my diet. Because I do think that changing my diet can change the output that my body gives. I think that's proven. And I also just have a desire to grow older in a very strong and healthy way. I don't want to ever become feeble. I don't want to become dependent. I am so inspired by my 90-year-old grandmother, Nettie Mae. You are the bomb. She lives in her own house, taking care of herself. A house with stairs. She's up and down the stairs. She is living her life. And I just am so encouraged by that. And to know that that's in my DNA. So shout out to you, Grandma. I'm doing my best to live a long, healthy life that the Most High gives me. So, yeah, I just wanted to come in here and touch on that. And what do you guys think? Have any of you ever get diagnosed with any thyroid issues? How do you maintain it? Because, it can be a hard journey, but we got this.